knew about the whole time. I just, I don't know.
There was one episode I think about Owen Hart. That was the one I couldn't watch.
That's the one that started the entire series for me. That's how the whole thing started. I'm pretty sure. So I was like, oh well, I don't want to get into this. And then I didn't realize they started talking about all these other wrestlers. So that's cool. Like I watch a lot of I have WWE Network though. I switched to Peacock and I got Peacock for it. I just don't really watch a lot. There's a Stone Cold podcast on there now, so I watch a bunch of that too.
Well, yeah, Stone Cold has a podcast.
Yeah, I'm sure that sounds great.
Well, the cool thing about it was he did a podcast with Jericho, and Jericho's not even in WWE right now. So they were talking about AEW, which is like a rival now essentially.
Yeah,
on the Stone Cold podcast on the WWE Network essentially. So it's a pretty cool podcast. It's not just WWE centric.
That it's on the WWE Network. I don't think I've watched anything WWE or F related since they got the F out.
We should tweet this out too, shouldn't we?
Didn't you make a tweet already?
Yeah, but it was like hours ago.
Stupid Lakers.
They are. Look, I haven't watched. I'll be honest. I haven't watched basketball in a long time, right? But
bro, you thought one of these guys was Rajon Rondo.
Well, he was wearing the headband. I just saw a headband in the court, bro.
Rondo's only been on the team for 1 year. That guy's been on the team for at least 4.
How come no team wants to keep Rondo? How come he keeps swapping teams like every year? I feel like that guy's on multiple teams per year.
I wish he was on our team right now though, because he probably play better than all these bums.
Dude, I don't know. I thought we had better players than this. I like the white dude with the headband. What's his name? Caruso?
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy's cool. What?
That's pretty cool.
I mean, the rest of them though, I don't know.
Oh god, alright. We gotta start talking about something else, or else I'm gonna get real pissed and be mad about everything that we're talking about.
They still have 14 points? It's the second quarter.
Oh my god.
Damn, is this football?
It really is. 14 points in the second quarter is a terrible score.
Wait. LeBron's got the ball, he passed it, and it gets deflected. What a scrub.
You ain't no chick, Hearn. Get out of here. Don't talk about one team like that. Me, professional.
Well, that's that. Damn. Lakers suck, huh? So they're gonna be out of the playoffs now.
Boom.
Waiting for LeBron to walk off again.
Could be any second now. Give it a second. Second quarter. Give him a couple more minutes.
All right, someone start the show already.
All right, it's time to start. The show is starting. Oh, yeah, let's bring it in. Oh, the Heartbreak City with the Lakers.
I need to not look at the fact that they're down 24. Damn it.
Talking out loud is not going to help you either.
All right, let's bring it in. Welcome, everybody. Two of these guys are very upset that the Lakers game is going terribly, but
Rip's not even that upset.
I'm upset at how bad they are. I thought they were better than this.
You still thought that was Rondo on the team. You barely paying attention. You're like Suiken thinking that Virtua Fighter 4 game.
That was so funny. You guys should have heard it. But yeah, welcome everybody. This is Boomcast, episode number 44. Man, we've been putting in the hours for these podcasts.
Yeah. We almost have a whole year of these.
Wow, that's crazy.
What year did we start this?
Let's not think about that.
Nobody find out. Nobody go through the YouTube archive.
Nobody actually find out.
Make sure you follow and subscribe and all that stuff.
Yeah, it's been kind of slow. The news days have been kind of slow. And yeah, we're still kind of stuck. The world's kind of opening up here in America. Everybody's getting vaccinated and all that good. But the rest of the world, we're still waiting on. And yeah, some news coming through the pipeline. We got some Street Fighter V patches. Really recent one. I think it happened about like 2 weeks ago. I think the major thing coming out of this patch was nerfing Cammy. She's been dominating the CPT tour as of late, winning all the major events and stuff. So Cammy got touched a little bit, but what do you guys think? What do you guys think about the Street Fighter patches?
I honestly haven't been paying attention too much to Street Fighter V. I saw that they have Oro, like a little teaser for him, but It's really cool. Like, since they had that update for Champion Edition, they had the new V shift mechanic.
Right.
Like since then, like I really haven't been following too much. I played it a little bit, and I was like, okay, it seems cool. I've been watching events here and there. They had that cool Red Bull event recently, Red Bull Kumite.
Yeah, super cool.
That was really good. I enjoyed that. Seeing like it's funny because their Red Bull Kumite event was kind of like how we had the Tekken We Play event, right? You got to see their players come offline, their commentators be offline again, and everyone's in that like, oh damn, we're offline. Look, we can see each other, and everyone can play together. So that part is cool, but like the game itself, I haven't really been keeping up with as much.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
I've kept up even less, but it seems the nice thing though. It seems like everyone that plays Street Fighter V seems to enjoy it, right? It doesn't seem everyone that's playing it seems to say it's in a great spot, right? So hearing that makes you go like, oh, you know what? Maybe I want to see what's going on over there, because the Street Fighter community has always been pretty honest about their game, right? When it's trash, the majority of it feels confident in saying that. But right now, they're all confident in saying that it's good. They better not be lying, damn it.
I feel like they finally just got rid of all the people who were haters on it. You know what I mean?
Me too, right? Could also.
I think that's what happened. I think they like the haters of it. They finally got filtered out after 4 years, and then they're like, yeah, why the hell am I still playing this game I hate? Oh yeah, maybe I should go try a different game out.
Yeah, what a mystery this is. There's a bunch of other fighting games out there that I could play and enjoy at the same time. Then go play the one that you enjoy if you don't like one, right? Exactly. I'm in the same boat.
Going back to what Ricky said, there has been a lot of positive feedback. Like the players that are playing Street Fighter V, a lot of people feel like this is the best version of Street Fighter V right now.
Yeah, ever since they came out with the Japanese roundtable, right? And then they had the developers coming on and then talking about the balance for Street Fighter. And then they've been having their own Capcom shows as well, showcasing the changes, especially when the V-Ship mechanic got announced and stuff. So it was super...
That's what you said.
Pretty accurate. V-shit, got introduced. But yeah, it seems like it's a really good direction for the Street Fighter scene. So super happy for them. But, to touch up on what you guys said about like, most Street Fighter players seem pretty happy about the changes. And then as soon as you guys said that, I think of Chris T. And I'm like, man, some things don't ever change. I've been listening to these podcasts since like the ATP live days. And then Era's bringing up Chris T. The guy's never happy. He's always like upset about something. Ken got a change on his heavy DP, so it could go through fireballs from like farther away. But there's a sweet spot where only the second hit connects sometimes, and then the third hit drops out.
Yeah.
Damn. Eliza status?
Yeah, exactly. And he was like, bro, this shit's going to happen to me in tournament. And then lo and behold, it happened to him online in a crucial match.
Wow.
So it is what it is, but I'm really happy for them. Capcom seems like they're really focusing, on how to change their game in a more favorable, balance change for the community. So that's really sick. But moving on, we also have another 2D game we want to talk about briefly. It's King of Fighters 15. They've been announcing... Yeah, they've been announcing, all these new characters with their character reveal trailers and whatnot, but news has come out that it has been delayed to Q1 2022.
Yeah, that's I've never been big on King of Fighters. I wanted to try it, but it's just one of those game series I've just never really got into. Obviously, Pakistan scene is huge on King of Fighters.
Right.
But this delay, obviously, people were saying like, dude, is he gonna have rollback? Is he gonna have rollback? Is he gonna have rollback? And then they were like, well, we're going to work on our own rollback implementation. And then they're like, maybe we should just delay the game until next year. Which is really crazy, right? Because I felt like they announced so many characters for it that it had to come out soon. Like, it was like, this is coming out like next month or something, right? But nobody really cared. There was just so much hype around Guilty Gear.
Right.
And then all of a sudden Virtua Fighter that no one was really like, oh shit, KoF, hell yeah. I didn't feel that vibe at all from it.
I mean, I gotta be honest though. Like, I saw that Ralph and Clark trailer, and that has to be by far the worst character reveal trailer I've ever seen in my life. Worse than the Alex trailer from Street Fighter V, because that one doesn't really exist.
How could it be worse than something that didn't even happen?
Why was this so bad?
It was the worst trailer because it was two guys that were playing in practice mode against each other. One's playing Clark, the other one's playing Ralph. The Clark obviously is the way better player. The Ralph doesn't know what he's doing. And so the Clark is doing just guffing, beating the shit out of Ralph the entire trailer. And it's like, okay, so the first half is Clark beating Ralph's ass. You think, okay, so now we're gonna switch it, right? And then like the Ralph does like a 1-hit, 2-hit combo, drops a combo, and then all of a sudden he knows how to do a combo because he switched controllers probably with the guy that knew
gave it to the bigger brother.
And it was like, you know, like all the other trailers too, right? There's like you know, dynamic camera angles and, you know, like real like close ups. Like these guys got shitted on. Especially Ralph in his own damn trailer. All he did was get beat up by the guy that he was partnering with, you know? So I was like, seeing that and then hearing that it got delayed. Yeah, you know what? Because if that's how the trailers are coming out, then what the hell's gonna happen with the game, dude? Because like you're trying to hype up these characters. I'm saying that's a whack trailer because I wanted that trailer to be sick because I like those characters. I want those characters to be dope, but like they showcased Ralph's super and half of the super was off the screen because he did it in the corner. It's like and they didn't bother to reshoot that or anything, right? They didn't bother to say like, oh, put him in the middle. It felt like they only had one match footage of those characters and that's all they could use. You know, it was like it just felt like.
Not prepared.
Yeah, not prepared at all, right? So it's like, why even bother putting the trailer
and
out?
especially if you're gonna put a trailer out, you can script the fight. You could have like you could do cool stuff in a trailer like that.
No, it looked like that's what they're trying to script the fight. That's why the first half when Clark was being ass, I was like, okay, it's scripted, so at least this character's getting his ass beat, right? But then they swapped it back the other way. It's like, no, that guy's not getting his ass beat whatsoever. I've seen this move already. In fact,
beatable.
No, actually, the Clark did the same combo twice in the same trailer. He did the same exact combo twice. It was like the same combo. It's that. Yeah,
I've never ever heard you talk so much about King of Fighters. I had no idea you paid attention that much to King of Fighters.
This whole week, Ricky's been just filled with hatred.
It's honestly just because I watched it and I was just like, I can't believe this is public. Like it's actually out and for the people to. It's honestly like that's how I feel. It's the worst trailer I've ever seen. You know?
I remember my first gameplay editing job. You know, it's like that kind of moment.
You know, it's like I want King of Fighters to do well just because it's another fighting game. You know, but like
I feel like
it. Yeah, I just that wasn't a good look. And so if the characters come out looking better at least, then I'm all for it. But that trailer sucked.
KoF is like, no one's gonna be watching our trailer anyways. I mean, I think Ricky's the only one that's gonna give a shit. Like,
there's a lot of people who watch that.
Yeah,
I mean, even in like the LUIG Discord, there's like people like they're constantly posting the KoF trailers. You know?
Oh yeah, there's definitely a huge dedicated fan base and stuff too. You know, but I listen to Ultra Trend regularly from time to time. Their Tuesday show, and then I remember they brought up a really good point about King of Fighters, and it's just like. They're advertising it with all these character reveals like it's gonna drop this year and shit, but we haven't even seen give me a meter, please. I'm fiending. Let me see a UI decision once. Let me see a character select screen. Let me see the timer, please. Oh my god, just show me a piece of leg, that timer or something, or a health bar. But I think it might be the right call if they haven't even designed any of that, which should have been pretty easy to show off, right? Like, show a super meter. We just want to see what the meter looks like.
I mean, I think their whole marketing campaign has been pretty weird, right? Because they've released a character trailer for every single character essentially, and it's kind of too much. You know, I feel like you can't keep the momentum going where you're every week is hey, and here's Anna, and here's Zafina, and here's Paul, and here's Law. It's who cares? I've already seen these characters before, you know? Put a bunch out at once. You got so many characters in the game, right? Just drop 4 at a time, you know? Every with longer intervals apart, you know, so that it keeps the hype going. Because the game wasn't supposed to come out first half of 2021 or anything, right? It was always supposed to be second half, I thought. And now, of course, it's being delayed to 2022. And it's probably so that they can work on adding better netcode since they've seen so many people, asking for it.
Yeah, that is definitely the hot topic these days. And speaking of better netcode, this next game we're about
netcode?
I don't know how to talk today. My God. Let me get my tongue fixed. Jesus. Yeah, that's the final form of netcode, the nutcode, dude. All right, so talking about
angry Knicks fan over there, dude. Gross.
Nick Young! Don't let me get you out of here, Nick Young!
Trae Young, dude. Nick Young sucks. Nick Young was the guy that dated Iggy Azalea.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Really quick. You know, I just found out that the Paul brother that's fighting Mayweather is not the Paul brother that's fighting Woodley?
Yeah.
Huh?
I didn't know that. Both of
two
them are
different-
fighting now?
They're two Paul brothers. The big so I found this out too. The guy that snatched Mayweather's hat was not the one that was fighting. He's not fighting Mayweather. He's the one that fought Askren, and now he's gonna fight Woodley. And now
the
he's
guy that is boxing is not the one boxing Mayweather.
no.
That's so stupid.
Hey, I thought those guys were getting
That's
in
how it
trouble, like for driving on that beach and stuff.
They're always in trouble.
Come on, man. You know how it is.
They're always in trouble. But
They're about to get in real trouble when they jump in that ring.
damn.
Nah.
Now,
I'd love to see it. But all right, here we go. Speaking about new topics, we have Guilty Gear Strive. Apparently, if you have the deets, you could get this right now, but you haven't heard it from me. But yeah, Guilty Gear Strive
Pop stores.
comes out next week. Some people already have early access copies, but man, Guilty Gear Strive. Everybody's talking about this one. The netcode is phenomenal. It's just only high praises, right? Everybody's talking about the netcode, and Guilty Gear Strive is coming out of the park swinging. And Arxis, they've been getting scrutinized for their terrible netcode for Dragon Ball Fighters and like Grand Blue Fantasy, especially Grand Blue with the release that it had, right? Especially as soon as it dropped, pandemic hit. So it's just like every hope that the game had for like a thriving offline scene, it just seems like a very niche, small community that really love the game. Gandino is apparently kicking ass in that game as well. So Tekken player killing it over there in the Grand Blue world. But man, Guilty Gear Strive, this is the next big one. Everyone's super excited about it, but you guys were telling me before the show that the version that they have for it is actually an earlier version than what we had for the recent open beta test with Anji Mito
You're
Mm-hmm.
talking
and
about
Ino.
if you get it early access or whatever, right?
Right,
Now.
yeah, right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's just because they don't have the day zero patch, you know what I mean? So
Mhm.
that's all. They're just when the game comes out, it's gonna have everything, obviously. So it's just for the people who get it like early right now from mom and pop stores or something, probably.
Yeah, they can't
But-
expect to have the full game.
Yeah, it's like
Pre-release.
remember when Mortal Kombat 9 came out or whatever, and I remember I got the game and I was like, oh damn, I'm gonna make like a frame data app thing. So I started pulling all the frame data and making sample comps for all the characters because I had like a week early.
How do you have frame data in a game that does not have frame data?
Well, maybe it was Injustice then. I
Yeah,
don't remember. It's
that
one of
sounds
those damn
wicked.
games.
Because MK9 has no frame data.
Yeah, that's true. I don't think it did.
Okay. All right, maybe it's one of those NRS games, all right. And then anyway, point is, by the time the game came out, like the patch it, I was like, oh, the damn data's different. It's like, man, fuck this. Like,
I remember that. Like Injustice 1 was the first one that they had frame data, and then they came out with like patches every other week, and it's just like, isn't that the move that they changed in the patch notes?
Yeah.
Like it's exactly the same.
You remember the one frame super showing the entire animation startup? So like even though it really was one frame in the actual game, it counted the frames from when you activated to when
69 frame super.
250 frames.
Yeah, so like, oh yeah, this super is like 250 frame startup. It's like what? You do it in the game, it's like punishes everything.
Full screen Superman 2-frame super. Go to
NRS is awesome though. Hey, shout outs to NRS because they'll do shit like that. Like, you know what, man, people want frame data, we'll put it in. Even if it's completely wrong, we'll figure it out later. And then
They put tag 2 frame data in Tekken 7 in the game. That's what they did.
Yeah. I mean, as long as you start somewhere, you'll work it out as you go along.
Yeah, they'll figure it out later.
Yeah. Gotta start somewhere though, man.
I think we
Shout
all
out to the NRS community for also doxing their own players in tournaments. Good job.
Wait,
Yes.
what?
You didn't hear about that when they're doing the Twitch Rivals thing or whatever.
Yeah.
What happened?
Maximilian was doing the tournament, and then players that were playing in the tournament got doxed by other NRS players that either were not in the tournament, like by like
Wow.
people like in their chat, like typing their actual address in it or something.
wow.
So they had to
Hell.
stop the entire tournament because it's like that's fucked up. So
Holy moly.
the
That's
NRS
crazy.
community
Mhm.
built differently, a little different.
Damn, they always kind of have been, but we love them. We love their games too. But all right, moving on. Guilty Gear. Well, I guess I could ask you guys. Are you guys excited about Guilty Gear? We all kind of dabbled a little bit here and there with the open beta and stuff. So, anything you guys are looking forward to with that game?
Honestly, I feel like the last beta kind of like soured me a little bit. I felt like I was more hyped from the previous beta than from the last beta.
I think it's a common feeling.
Yeah, and so I'm just kind of waiting to see what it's like when I get the game. I'm gonna get it regardless, right? So I'm gonna play it. I hope it's the Guilty Gear that I want to play because
PC.
What?
Get it on PC.
Oh, I'm gonna get on PC and probably PlayStation if I can. But I want to say like I've never gotten to play a Guilty Gear game, and this one being the simplified one, everything, I felt like I was their target demographic, like their whole simplification thing that everyone's so mad about, like they were targeting guys like me who tried to play the old one, and it was like, there's too much shit in here.
I don't want to play a game that's targeting you. That sounds like the worst fighting game of all time.
Hey, look, I'm saying, that's what they did, Ricky. That's what they did.
flip.
I just double flips everywhere.
There's gonna be slides and flip kicks everywhere. That's all the game's gonna have.
This is my first Guilty Gear.
Me
so like I went into beta like with an open mind and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot. I really like what they were doing with it. I didn't get a chance for the second beta, which I think really helped me because I still want to get it and play it. Because like you were saying, it may have soured you, but no one cares because it's you. But I mean, to me, for like a first time player, I'm excited. I really like the characters. I really like the pace of the game. So yeah, I'm gonna get it for PC and give it a shot. I mean, I don't think I'm gonna be competitive, but I'm gonna talk that shit to Kizzy for sure. Like I like talking shit to Kizzy.
I'm gonna put my dukes up and try my best. Yeah.
I'm going into Steve's chat when he's playing. I said, "Where you at, man? What floor are you at?" He's like, "I'm right here." And I said, "Man, catch me at this floor." And then he'll like try to get up to that floor. I'm not really on that floor. I'm still on floor 1. He's trying to get to floor 8.
You did the K Tech on Steve. Oh my god, I won 1,700 in roulette, bro.
Here,
Can't
man.
stop
He's
now.
like, "Yo, Suiken, where you at, man? Where you at?" And then I'll come in when he's getting his ass whooped too. So his ass is getting whooped, and I'm like, "Man, if you can't even beat this guy, you can't even beat me." I forget it, man. Forget it. I'm out of here. And he gets so bad.
No one wants to play against them. You are not making any friends in any extra community that's not Tekken with that attitude.
Don't even have to play them.
Yeah, you gotta at least play them. What kind of you buying the game to not play people? Just to have it?
I play people, but just I like trolling with Steve.
Yeah.
Man, come on.
My impressions of the last beta, though, I was still having fun. Like, I was like, in the second beta, or aka the first official open beta, I was trying Amelia and trying to like be all sweaty and do all these cross ups and like fucking the circle discs, Oki setups and all that. I'm just like, why am I doing all this when I could just Carl Potbuster and take off 50%? So
now you're talking.
That was, whenever I switched over to Pot, I was having a blast, just Carl bustering people for 50%, and the game's super explosive. So like everything does a shit ton of damage, and it seems like they're gonna stick with that. So hey, why not? But yeah, people have already been talking about like, should this be a 2 out of 3 game, 3 out of 5 game? I guess we'll see.
Yeah, damage is very high, and the game's gonna be very interesting at launch. I think there was a lot of hype like a few months ago, but the lobby system hasn't been fixed. I think people are still gonna be upset about that, but they're not gonna care once the game's out, right? And that's just gonna be about balance and damage and what everyone thinks about it afterwards. But we shall see. ICS is going to be for Guilty Gear on Thursdays, so that's super fun too.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, I guess we can move on to the next topic then. Another fighting game that isn't Tekken, but it's the closest damn thing we have to Tekken, And, going to this game and kind of tinkering around with like practice mode, trying to move this, I'm like, that's a Tekken string. That's a Tekken move. That's straight up like the same animation. I'm like, bro, I saw Vanessa doing like Raven's back turn 3+4, and then like Sarah has like the Nina down forward 1+2, but we're exactly talking about Virtua Fighter 5 Ultimate Showdown free game if If you have PlayStation Plus, it's a free game for June. If not, I heard later on, after it doesn't become free on PlayStation Plus, it's going to be available for $30. Or if you don't have PlayStation Plus, you could also get it for $30. But how the hell are you supposed to play it online without the PlayStation Plus? So, you know, that's like a weird catch-22 there. So you might as well get it now. Or just try out the free trial for PlayStation Plus. Get your download for Virtua Fighter 5. And I know Ricky, you guys have dabbled with this game the most out of us for here. How do you guys feel about it? Rip, I remember you entering tournaments back in the day, flip kicking and throwing and sweeping people to death. And it seems like you haven't. It's like some things don't change depending, no matter what game it is.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think that it's just funny. Like, you just brought up me and Ricky dabbling in the game, and the only thing that comes to mind is that stupid Evo clip, because it's always Ricky in that clip smiling and running away.
That's a godlike clip. That's a godlike clip.
After, not my fault that I found it funny. Listen, if I've seen people eat shit on the side on sidewalks, right? It's like all you can do is laugh at them. It's like it's not my like I know it sucks, they're probably hurting, but that shit was funny. Don't fall next time.
Yeah, Ricky played the clip, MYK.
No, do not play the clip. People can go find it if they want. But I will say, Ricky, I watched it recently, and the fucked up thing is the round before that final round, right? Where like I'm stressed out and I freak out because I probably hit a sick ass flip kick, and I look at you, and you're already smile and turn away dead. Like, you're already done, because you already know
the Pyro Lee moment. It's like, I just hit a sick-ass thing.
You weren't stressed. Come on, man. You trying to play
You were definitely not stressed. I watched it so many times. He's never stressed.
Bro.
No remorse.
Yeah, definitely no remorse.
What
he took her soul and everything.
You walked away from that station afterwards and just like stood there for a few seconds and looked at me with.
Don't tell this part.
I'm the best.
Dude, it looked like he straight up broke up with her. Like, he got up out of the seat, broke up with her, and left, and she was in shambles. She was like,
dude,
oh my god.
Dude.
Yeah, so Virtua Fighter's sick.
Yeah, Virtua Fighter's sick, dude. If you guys have played Virtua Fighter, going back to what Mike was just saying a second ago. He's like, look, all these things, these are Tekken strings. I don't know which one came first. I think a lot of the animations are shared across both series, and I feel like half of them probably came from Virtua Fighter into Tekken.
You're right.
I think some of the Tekken ones came into Virtua Fighter. So it's kind of cool that Virtua Fighter is kind of back. Obviously there's been a lot of talk about the netcode, and they've had this big graphics update to the game. It's on a new engine now. It's on the Yakuza engine, the Dragon engine, I think it's called.
Right.
Yeah, Eileen and Pi both look like characters out of Yakuza, like NPCs that I've like saved.
Yeah, they touched up their faces. They dolled them up a little bit. Even Akira looks different now. He looks mad younger. He looks way younger now.
Did you guys see
Sage Northcutt Jackie?
That was effed up, Ricky. Ricky comes in, he's like, he told me I'm playing like Sage Northcutt because I'm playing Jack. I'm like, oh fuck, because I can totally see it now. Every time I see it now, Jack with his new dumb hair, it's Sage Northcutt. I'm like, God damn it.
Someone post a picture of Sage Northcutt in the chat so everyone knows.
Do not.
I'm Googling this myself.
Sage Northcutt with 2 T's for the cut.
He's like the most.
He's a young UFC fighter.
Not UFC anymore.
Not former UFC fighter. The funny thing is, when he first came in, I was kind of excited about it. I was like, damn, this kid, he has some potential. He's doing flips and stuff.
I think I found a pretty good picture.
Yeah, he does flips and stuff. Look.
Yeah, he does.
Oh god.
Oh man.
You
can't beat me with that.
Oh my god.
Like you're fighting in slow motion.
Can you imagine ringing somebody out with a flip kick with this guy, and then he's just like, I'm the best.
Bro, so this guy also is like, he's like super, like, does not curse at all, right? And every character of Virtua Fighter does not curse. Like, they're like super corny, and he's like super corny too. He calls everyone sir. He goes like, I'll see you, that's heck instead of hell or something. What the freak are you talking about? Like that kind of.
He's perfect. I mean, honestly, that's a really good joke. Damn, I'm really upset about it because you messed up my character. But it's pretty accurate.
100% accurate.
The crazy thing, honestly, this past week has been though that Virtua Fighter comes out, and it's been fun. Like I was watching Maximilian play it, and he was trying to find someone in the lobby, right? And he couldn't find the person he was looking for because there were so many lobbies open on Virtua Fighter 5. he was like, "Whoa, I can't find you." You know, like, how do I find you? Can I invite you? Because there's no invite system. That's kind of messed up right now, right?
Yep.
But that it's just so weird for Virtua Fighter 5, this game that's not balance updated from like 12 years ago, whatever.
Dude, that's the craziest
come out
part to
again.
me. Yeah, I've been seeing this game at the arcades when I went to Japan for Tekken 5 DR. I'm like, bro, this is the same game. Mishima Star, the balance director for Tekken, was literally at a cabinet whooping ass in this game like freaking more than 10 years ago.
That's crazy. But yeah, I mean, the fact that it came out again and people are playing it now, it's just wild, you know? Obviously, there's a lot of talk about netcode, absorb netcode versus rollback.
That's the meme, right? Yeah, that's the meme, right? Because they came out, like, people are like, does this game have rollback nut code? And then they were just like, no, we absorb the nut. We're absorbing lag nut code.
Oh man, absorb netcode got way worse. Dude. Absorb netcode, I'm not liking them.
Oh man, you gotta absorb the nuts, Ricky. Come on.
Like a sponge. Ugh.
Yep. But you know, the crazy thing is, you know, obviously, it was annoying as usual for me when I just see a bunch of people saying like, no rollback, no buy, you know, because you didn't even try the game, you know, and the game was free. But the crazy thing was, it came out and it's gotten like mixed reviews, but also some really good reviews, which is super odd. Like and what they're doing with it is that they're using servers, right?
I heard relay servers,
about it. Yeah, and the thing is, I don't know that they're relay servers. So it's kind of like
does seem location based though, right? Like certain locations are definitely screwed in this regard.
Yeah, and so that's the weird thing, right? Because like they're using these servers to kind of shorten the distance. So if you're on, say, West Coast and someone's on the East Coast and there's a server in the Midwest, now you guys are only playing to the Midwest instead of playing all the way across the country.
Yeah,
right?
absorbing
so
the
it helps
nut.
in that instance, right? But then say you live in, you know, Africa, and the closest server is in Chicago, then you're fucked. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't help you, right? Because you can't play the other guy in Africa. But that being said, you know, maybe they could change in the future to just only use the servers if it needs to be used. You know what I mean? Like, if there's a server that's closer to us than we are to each other, then use the server. But if there isn't, then let's just connect directly. You know what I mean? Like, like in programming terms, that doesn't seem too crazy. Maybe they can work something like that in the future. But I think it's very cool that they tried something different, you know, because dedicated servers is something that hasn't really been done for fighting games before. And it's something that usually would cost more, right? Because you're paying for these servers. Whereas if you just have a peer-to-peer connection, you kind of just give up paying for anything. You're like, oh, whatever. They're playing each other now. We don't got to worry about maintaining it. So the fact that they're using dedicated servers for fighting it for the first time is a pretty interesting strategy. I think personally, I still prefer Tekken's netcode over Virtua Fighters. What about you, Rick? You've been playing a bunch.
I mean, honestly, for me, I can't tell the difference. They both feel like you know, when the games are good, the games are good. When the games are bad, the games are bad, right? That's basically how it's been for me. Yeah. So I don't want to say like they're both like, I don't want to say like, oh, one's better than the other, because realistically I've had a much larger sample size with Tekken, so I've had a lot more worse matches on Tekken than I ever had with Virtua Fighter. But you know, obviously that can change the more I play Virtua Fighter. So
yeah,
for what it's worth, at least for me, you know, the netcode's good. I can understand the reasoning for wanting rollback and wanting, you know, peer to peer. So I'm not gonna like, you know, say that they're wrong for, you know, feeling that way, right? Because, you know, if you feel that so strongly about rollback and you don't want to play a game because it doesn't have rollback, more power to you, you know. But when the game does have rollback, but the fighting game itself sucks, don't expect us to play it because it just has rollback. You know, that it goes both ways, you know. So
yeah, and also
that's how I feel. As long as the fighting game is good for me and the online is playable, at least for me, then I'll play it for what it's worth. And for what it's worth, it was $0. It's like I'm cool with that.
Yeah, and the other thing about rollback, I feel like rollback's in a weird position now, right? Because I mean, it's always kind of been, because there's just been so many bad implementations of rollback, right?
Yeah, I have a perfect example now that you just brought that up. I just pulled this one up, and this is from I'm Still the Daddy stream. And then look at this. Look at this confirm, and then look how fucked he gets from this confirmed. Okay, so it's Guile. It hit.
Maximize.
It can't maximize because like my screen real estate, but yeah, you guys can see it right here.
You can see it right here. You can see it right here.
Dude, hit, stun, hit, stun. Fuck your shit.
Blocked it.
I mean, that's just like when people say, it's bad rollback or whatever. But honestly, rollback or any netcode, right? You so many factors that is just outside of that aspect of it. So all we can ask the developers is try to make the netcode as best as possible to compensate. But at the same time, that netcode is not going to make some fat ass actually plug in a damn Ethernet cable to his computer, right? That rollback or that absorb back is not going to fix Spectrum and Comcast from fucking up
your
ICFC
grand finals. Yep.
It's like these things are sometimes out of our control. So it's like, as players, we can ask for rollback and all that, and be progressive about it. But at the same time, understand that Comcast and Spectrum exist. We can't beat that, right? Not yet.
No amount of rollback nutcode to fix that. No amount.
We gotta figure that monster out first.
Two things I want to say about this really quick. Number one, like rollback, I was gonna say, there's been so many bad implementations of it, and it's because rollback's hard to do. And if you don't think it's hard to do, then why there's so many bad implementations of it?
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Like if it was so easy to do, and then it would always work every time they've done it. And you guys got to remember, rollback was tried out in Street Fighter Cross Tekken. This was like 2012. That was Capcom's first attempt at it, right? The second attempt was with Street Fighter V, I think, and then Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, which people seem to like.
It seemed like that was the best one out of all of them.
Right.
Yeah.
And going back to what Ricky said, if the game's not there, then people aren't going to play it anyway. So
that's a good point. That's a great example.
Very good technology. But it's not easy to implement, right? Like it definitely takes work. And we even saw this with Street Fighter V when there was that community patch, and some people had great results with it. Some people didn't, right? And then Capcom fixed it, and everyone's like, oh, now it's way worse. But then for some people, that still made it better for them. So it's not like a one solution fits everything sort of situation.
Yeah.
And separately, the other thing I want to remind people is that, rollback, when it came out, it was a situation where there was nothing better than delay at the time, right? So everyone at the time was making delay like, yeah, this is what it's like to play fighting games online, bro. This is what it is.
It's always been
and
the
so
meme.
And then rollback came out like, hey, now there's something better, right? So when a new game comes out, whether they have rollback or not, you don't know what they're doing. Like there could be something that's better than rollback that hasn't been developed yet. Technology is always advancing. So at least give a game a chance because you don't know what's going to come out.
I think that's a great
right now,
viewpoint.
rollback is the peak, but that doesn't mean that it's the end game,
No, I think that's exactly the stance I'm getting from you and Ricky is that like everybody, like Ricky used a great word. He was just like, I know we're trying to be progressive, everyone's striving for the best netcode and all that good, but it's just at the same time it's like that's not the end all be all. Look at MVCI, you only have your dedicated hardcores that are still playing it, but other than that, like it kind of is considered a flop for the most part. That was another great example. And also like everyone's so caught up on the buzzword rollback, right? But also at the same time, it's like, oh, this game doesn't have rollback. I've been seeing this so often now. It's just like it's a common trend where it's just like no rollback, no buy. Yes, I understand that. We're stuck at home. We're trying to get the best experience out of this game as possible. But also at the same time, you might be missing out on a sick ass game just because you're like, I'm a rollbackian dude. I'm born from the rollbackian race, so I can't desert my peoples and all that stuff. But I think you guys have a very open mind, and also because we're like a little bit more on the veteran side now. We've been at this for like 10 years plus. We dabbled in these games throughout the years, and it's just like, bro, this game is sick. You're missing out on some sick ass stuff with this game. Like I could be doing flip kicks and ringing people out. Like when do I get to do that in Tekken? I never get to do a flip kick into a touch of death because of ring outs in Tekken. So
yeah, but at the same time, it's like if the netcode's not good for them, it's like it's gonna not be good for them, regardless of whether or not the game is good. So I'm all for it, right? If more people can play a game on the internet, the better. It's just that aspect of it is gonna take. I mean, it's gonna take a lot from both developers, the fans, and just fucking someone plugging a damn Ethernet cable every now and then.
But also,
stuff like that.
I view it as like let's say they had all this hidden potential in this game that totally catered to them. Like maybe it was like a Beethoven situation. What if this motherfucker never touched the piano in his life? He would have never had the shine that he had because he fucked around and picked up a janitorial broom or something. He's like, damn. I could
a
have.
joystick and became a Tekken player. What an idiot!
What an idiot! He should have just touched the piano.
The arc is like someone left the door open and then they walked away from their game for just a second. He sees the stick, the arcade stick sitting there on the table. He walks over there and touches it, and all of a sudden he starts doing
downhill from here.
The guy walks in, he's like, "What did you do? You just got the highest score in the game."
But yeah, I think that's a very good viewpoint. Give the game a try. If the online really doesn't work out for you, then you had an honest try. But I think it's just such a closed-minded mentality to be like, nah, the game's dead. No rollback, no buy. That's it.
Yeah, I don't mind that when the game costs money. Like if it's like a $60 game, like that mindset. Because I feel like generationally, like my generation, vote with your wallet. And I feel like this new generation is like, vote with Twitter, bro. Like just complain enough. Like what? The thing is the same though, right? It goes back to no this, no buy, and this is great. But like when they were complaining about Virtua Fighter specifically, I was like, there's not a no buy here. You can easily try this.
Free to try if you already have PS Plus. Yeah.
It's just so easy to complain about something like that. Like people they don't like. I mean, during when the arcade, back in the day and stuff, people didn't like the game, but they tried it. They still put in a couple dollars in it. It's like, okay, it's not my game. I'll play something else, whatever. But now it's like everyone is just like, well, no rollback, and then starts spreading that type of.
It's like a negative mob, a bandwagon mentality. I think for sure. Yeah, it's definitely that.
No 3D, no buy.
Basically, but remember that? Yeah, I'm sure Rip remembers this back in the day with the, like for FPS games, people hated to buy DLCs for all the fight shooters, and then people were like, look, don't buy it. They would do it pre-hand. Don't buy it. Don't buy all the DLCs. But then people were like, I'm gonna give it a try, and they ended up liking it or not liking it. But trying to take that away from people for not wanting to try it at all is
You could have had a new Sonic Fox of Virtua Fighter. You could have had the next Tokido of Virtua Fighter, but you stunted the potential player because you just joined the bandwagon. No rollback, no buy, blah blah blah.
Oh no, I don't think you can make a Sonic Fox out of a game that still has players like LA Akira and Plague around, man. Those guys are timeless. They're gonna be playing Virtua Fighter to the death.
Dude, but that's what I love, man. Seeing Plague, he's everywhere where Virtua Fighter was. I was like, I always remember seeing that guy every time there was a Virtua Fighter set up anywhere.
Yeah,
I mean that's what I'm happy about the most is that the Virtua Fighter scene it seems to be thriving again, right? Like the Virtua Fighter players, I've seen, they're playing it. The players that aren't playing, aren't really Virtua Fighter players. They're still giving Virtua Fighter, some shine. So it's just good that Virtua Fighter at least is getting some hey, look, we still exist, right?
Yeah.
And actually, the one thing I would much rather complain about, or at least complain about at the same time, is where the fuck is a new Virtua Fighter? Why am I still playing this one? And at the same time, I'm happy I'm playing this one. This one's sick. I still love it. But at the same time, bro, come on.
Right. Yeah. And that's the biggest thing, right? It's like Virtua Fighter 6 is what everyone wants, right? And it's not what anybody got. And instead they gave us this engine update, right? Or a graphics update to Virtua Fighter 5, which is like a remaster, whatever.
It looks nice. Yeah, it looks. I'll give it up. It does not look like a PS2 game anymore.
Yeah,
it's upgraded for sure.
If you guys haven't seen it, Harada's Bar. He has an hour-long podcast that just came out a couple days ago, where he talks about Virtua Fighter and the entire thing. It's crazy. I watched it from beginning to end, and I don't watch things with subtitles usually because it puts me to sleep by reading too much.
Rip's he's a dumb guy.
He's a dumb guy, yeah.
but let me tell you, that was one of the best things I've ever heard. And I'll summarize some parts for you guys really quick. Harada basically wants Virtua Fighter to come back. He wants it to be like a force that be something that Tekken has to rival. He was saying that how Tekken is the first fighting game that was played online in an arcade.
The healthy competition,
It should have been Virtua Fighter. That's what he was saying. He said Sega should have been first to this. They should have forced us to react and put that into Tekken ourselves. But instead, because they haven't been here for 10 years, we've had to do things ourselves now. So, and he's got this really interesting mindset where he says there's no one in the waiting room. There's no competition for him. Obviously Street Fighter. Well, because it says Street Fighter and other fighting games, 2D games is different.
Yeah,
right?
it's different.
3D fighters, it's just him. He's just standing well, there's the waiting for your next opponent, and there's There's no one in there, you know. It's like,
Shout outs to Dead on Arrival.
That's all
I knew that was gonna come up too. I was like,
Shout outs.
dude.
No, it's a really, really good listen. And one of the best points he made was that, for me at least, was that he said when he saw what they did with Virtua Fighter Esports, he understands from a developer standpoint that they were coming from a PlayStation 3 and they're bringing it over, so they had to do some kind of engine upgrade to the game regardless, because they didn't have that developed on the PS4 or 5 system yet, so they had to switch to something. And of course, if you're Sega, you have the Dragon Age for Yakuza, so most likely that's what they were going to do, and that's what they ended up doing. He said that was all very easy for him to predict. He said he was surprised at the amount of budget they put into the graphics update, but he also understands it from like the situation they're in, where they're just trying to do something after not doing anything for like over a decade. So he's like, this is the easiest way that we can just make something and kind of test the waters. And he even brought up Tekken Revolution in terms of like testing the waters. Like
that's what I was thinking of too. This is to me very Tekken Revolution-y, right? Free game where it's like kind of came out of nowhere, but although we kind of knew this, and then it was just like, the netcode's it's strictly like an online style game too. So I think it's just there just to test the water, see how popular the game really is, and I hope they look at it like, all right, we're actually kind of popular. Maybe we should put a server in Africa.
Yeah, it feels like they're testing. It feels like they're testing a couple things at the same time. The popularity of Virtua Fighter. I forgot the other one I was going to bring up too, but
well, I think Absorbback is another test in itself, right? And then maybe obviously at the with Virtua Fighter 6, maybe they'll see either like maybe they have improvements to Absorbback. Maybe they think Absorbback is not as good as Rollback. Maybe they could see a lot of things with this how it's going right now.
Technically, like, from what I've understood of what they're trying to do and everything so far, I don't see why they can't combine the two.
That's what I was thinking.
If you have Absorb Netcode plus Rollback together, like, that could be a solution that's even better. If the idea is to cut the delay in half, right, by putting a server between you guys, then you have less on both sides.
What the hell are you gonna call that? You can't call that Absorb Rollback or Roll Absorb Back.
Yeah, Super Saiyan Rollback.
Rollback Server Edition, I don't know. You gotta go Street Fighter with it, right? Ultra Rollback Edition.
No.
Super Rollback
Edition.
Turbo.
Yeah. Rollback Turbo. Turbo Rollback? I mean, but basically I'm saying if you combine the two technologies, like, it could actually still be even better than Rollback by itself, and definitely by Absorb by itself,
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
I'm no programmer. I don't understand how it works, but
that's the other thing I was trying to say. I think they're testing out like also the free to play model for fighting games. That's another thing that we've been talking about a little bit. But do you guys think PlayStation had a hand in this for helping Sony out, bring Virtua Fighter 5 back? Because Sony, little did you guys know, bought out Evo. And they're coming back, and they had an announcement for their tournament series later on this year. 2021 Evo is official. It's happening online. What do you guys think?
I feel like a lot of people already forgot about that news, about, being purchased out like that. I mean, it could be. You could be right. It could, it could be, put on the tinfoil hat. Could be because of that reason,
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like people, like, it's cool that Sony bought Evo, I think. I don't think I'm like concerned about it. I think when that happened, a lot of people were like, oh shit, it's over, it's no more grassroots, blah, 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 whatever kind of bullshit. I feel like it's fine. It doesn't really change anything. They said they're going to run Tekken on PC, so it's not like they're forcing things to run on PlayStation. At least it doesn't seem that way. As far as this event itself, like, to me, it's not super duper exciting. It's because it's more online tournaments. Like, we've been doing online tournaments regardless of what it was for over a year and a half now, whether it's ICFC or Geico or Bud Light or whatever, right? Tekken Online Challenge. There's so many online tournaments that it's just like, well, here's the Evo version of that now. At the end of the day, it's still an online tournament.
Yeah, that's the unfortunate part about it. But at the same time, it's still another tournament, right? Still big. I don't know what the prizes will be, but I'm sure it's going to be bigger than normal. Obviously it's a bigger sponsor.
They announced it actually. It's something like $20,000 or something prize pools for each.
Oh,
so it's not like gigantic, but it's still something. Yeah.
I mean, for an online tournament, better than nothing, I guess.
Yeah.
So,
free, right?
I'm all for it. So
yeah.
Speaking about events, later on this year, it's not online. They are already prepping for the offline tournament series to come back for CEO.
Yes.
Bailey put out a tweet today
Yes.
where he said that they're limiting capacity. I think it's something like 2,500 competitors and 500 spectators. And the hotel is going to be available for booking on the 6th, which is in 3 days.
Wow.
And then there'll be a rollover hotel that they'll announce afterwards, basically. It's going to be in December, which is also very weird for CEO.
Yeah.
And they're having like a limited game roster because right now it's still kind of a question mark. Like I saw someone in the chat that mentioned that like does everything still need to be online? Right now I think as someone who's trying to put on an event, it's very difficult to guarantee that the world is going to be okay for an offline event. Like everything is starting to open up, but like when you're putting on an event, you got to like book it with the hotel, you got to make reservations, and you might not always get all your money back if like COVID comes back and now you're fucked, So basically like it's a big risk for these guys to secure a venue and everything and like say like, yes, we're doing this, and then say, okay, and 2,000 people book your flights over. Oh, my bad, we got to cancel. You know what I mean? It's not something that's very
a big
trivial.
thing.
Yeah, the mistakes like that can make and break a company in just a snap of a finger, just like that. It's happened before. So there, I mean, I feel.
Ja Rule taking all these morons to a desert island. Yeah,
let's go.
Damn, that. Oh man.
Damn, it's your people's too, Rick. It's the fire with the Y clan.
I know. Those guys ruined me, bro. I was like, who the hell are you guys? I'm not putting on no party. Damn. You said your people. I was like, what? There's one in India too? I was like,
I was like, Ja Rule's Indian?
He's gonna be wearing like an orange tiger shirt, looking around. There he is. Like of all the people, this guy right here.
Get him, boys. But yeah, that's kind of the thing, right? Hopefully you guys have been hanging in there. It's been a long one, like 1.5 years already since the pandemic and all that. But yeah, like CEO is trying to plan for the offline event. Hopefully everything can be cleared up by then.
Let me ask you guys: are you guys planning to go to CEO?
Hell no,
probably
Florida,
not,
dude.
yeah.
Fuck that. Listen, I like CEO, but Florida, brother, I'm good. I'm over here. I'll be over here for a little while until Florida.
See, like I hadn't decided yet. I'm still like on the fence,
I'm
but
on
I have
50,
a feeling
50.
that there's a lot of people that aren't really like excited. Like everyone's excited to see offline come back, but they ain't gonna be there.
That's me. I'm excited to watch. That's the thing. I'm excited to see people happy to be offline again,
Yeah.
But I'm also happy that I'm not there. So
I mean, the last CEO I had, I didn't have a pleasant experience walking around.
Oh yeah, I've heard those stories. It's nothing
so
good.
For me personally, like Daytona.
Well, it's gonna be in Orlando. It's not gonna be in Daytona.
Oh, that's sweet.
Okay.
I remember, so the only CEO I went to, I was walking around Daytona and I was looking for a 7-Eleven, and in between two 7-Elevens, there was one street, and then there's 2 strip clubs on both sides. And I felt like they were both trying to I felt like they were both beefing. Dude, it was so hot outside. It was in June. Remember that place?
Yeah.
Damn, it was so hot.
That's the best part, right? It's December, and I see Jin in the chat saying there's no humidity at least in December.
Yeah.
That's good, right?
The best thing about CEO in December.
Damn.
Yeah.
I mean, Orlando is definitely a little better than Florida.
I've only heard
it's alright.
It's
honestly, I think that the location in Orlando was like kind of whacker. Like in Daytona, you're at the beach, like literally. But when you're in Orlando, you're just kind of like, well, we're in this area. There's like a Wawa's or something, that you can get to, and that's about it. Everything else, you're stuck in the hotel.
Yeah, I mean that's where they held. Isn't that where they held the bubble? That was the NBA bubble, right? So that's because they called it the Mickey Mouse ring because that's where they won the Lakers won the ring, right? Where next to Disney World.
Yeah.
So, the Lakers are getting blown out still. Don't
do it! Don't do it! Don't do it!
Second half, Ricky, we can make a comeback, right? We're only 20 points behind by half.
No, you can't. It's over. It's a wrap.
They've only been behind 20 to 30 points the entire game. It's gonna turn around any second.
Don't even look. Don't look.
Okay, speaking of turning it around. We were just talking about offline events, but we got another online event coming back to you guys with the Tekken Online Challenge being officially announced. They put out a trailer. They put out some teaser trailers with some like 3, 2, 1, and then like the first initial 3, everyone was just like, "What does that mean? Is that Tekken Tag Tournament 3?
Tekken Tag 3?
Oh my god, bro! Tekken Tag 3! It's Tekken Tag 3!"
I got into like the casuals really got mad at me about posting about this too. Like,
why? What did you do? You have the weirdest Twitter shit, man. Go follow Suiken on Twitter so you can see his weird shit. What did you say?
I do post weird shit, but I, at the same time, like, I just dabble and stuff. But sometimes I say stuff and I think to myself, like, I remember Ricky telling me this. He's like, read your tweet out loud in your head first before you send the shit out. And I'm like, send the shit. I don't know. I made a tweet and it wasn't even directed towards casual players or anything like that.
Oh yeah,
and
sweet.
yeah, and then the casual players were like really getting mad at me. They're like, "Oh man, if it wasn't for casual players, y'all wouldn't have Tekken." And I was like, "Oh, really? Huh? I guess you wouldn't have coined the good ass Tekken or seen Rip and Tasty Steve on a shirt or Rickstah blowing shit up over there. You casual players are right. You're right. Thank you. And I just wanted to thank them and let them know thank you so much for the support, and the story mode wouldn't be done without you. So thank you. And
I can't tell if you're talking shit or not, but
I can't either.
Look.
You remember when I was telling you guys about Suiken having weird ass tweets? That was just a great example of a Suiken.
I'm not throwing shade on anybody. I'm not throwing shade on anybody.
What
Okay.
are you trying to say?
What's the purpose of this then? It's like,
I'm just saying what I was like, that tweet I was telling you guys about. Rip wanted to know. I'm just telling you.
It's fine if you love Tekken competitively or casually. We're not gonna dock you for it. Just don't bring it up to Suiken.
Just don't bring it up to passively, aggressively talk shit about story mode in front of your face.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, weird. But hey, this thing's happening. Tekken Online Challenge. It started 2 days ago. Did you guys know that? I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
But now
June
it's happening.
1st. Mm-hmm.
And there's a $100,000 prize pool.
I clicked the link today. I was like, wait, Shadow's first place.
Yeah, maybe we should start entering these tournaments.
Yeah, dude. What the hell? Like, so I just looked at one result. I just saw Shadows in first place, and I looked at the rest of it, and I didn't see the score. So I have no idea what tournament it's from, but I just know that it was probably just recent because obviously this only happened in the last 2 days.
Yeah, I mean, online is the future. And if you watch that trailer back, there's one part there where it says master events and something, and it says they may be online or offline. Wow. So it sounds like they're keeping the door open. Like if there's offline opportunities, then they could still go there with that. So it's a pretty interesting thing. It's something.
CEO could be one of them, right? It's like it's still a possibility.
It's December though, right? Like, and that's what I was wondering too, because they didn't say when the end of it is. It says it starts in June, but is it ending next June then, or is it ending in December? And then 2022 we get a new thing, because it's not Tekken World Tour, it's Tekken Online Challenge,
right?
Which is what they did last year, right?
Mm-hmm. But they could also just do a finals, right? Like that sounds like right at the end of the year. Yeah, it could be.
They could.
I mean, they could do if they want to do something like that, right? And CEO's kind of nice place too. I always like CEO's, the entrance, right? The whole. Oh man, I wonder if that's gonna be the same this year too.
Super hype, yeah.
That's a lot because that's a lot of work.
Well, there's no arena. There's no arena this year.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously that's that. They don't because they only use the arena for like the wrestling events or whatever, right? Oh, and then also the main event. But, all they need is the fake ring. And then remember when Dominion came in? That
was one of the best. One of the best, bro.
Yeah, like those are the kind of things that we remember about CEO. So as long as they keep that kind of same, vibe, and then Jabali, he's a wrestling nerd. He'll keep it that same vibe. So that it'll be successful regardless. And that's why I would be sick to see if the online challenge ended there, right? It'd be sick to finally see all the online players play offline and then get a big ass intro. You get to talk trash about Mac or something walking down the ramp. It'd be tight.
Oh my god. He's just gonna be Mac walking down the aisle doing debugs IRL.
Well, both hands.
Tekken 3 Jack.
Oh man.
But yeah,
I'm
so
laughing.
The Tekken Online Challenge. I don't think we know too much info about like the point structure. All the info we know is like pretty much came from the trailer.
There's another video on
There's
YouTube.
There's a structure for it.
They say all the regions and all the points. Like basically it's happening everywhere. So like Africa has events and stuff now, which is really cool because they've been building up their scene there, posting a lot of stuff on social media about it. Which is really crazy. Like if it's really a testament. Like if you guys have a scene that isn't getting recognition, like make it happen. You can make it happen. Like Africa is a great example. I forget.
Right.
I'm really upset. I don't remember the country in Africa. It's fuck. Whatever. Sorry. But basically, if you have a scene that's not represented, put stuff out on social media. Tag people. Let them know about you.
Yeah, get that exposure. This is the time. But yeah, speaking along with the Tekken stuff, we also had a recent update. We made it here, boys. Patch 420.
Oh boy.
Oh my god. So
4.20. Okay.
same but different, but still the same. But yeah, we made it here, man. Like, couple winners, couple losers this patch. I think some of the biggest winners is like Lily, Heihachi, Armor King, Eddie, and Lydia, biggest loser in this patch. Yeah, Dragunov, little winner. Yeah,
little winner, small winner.
I don't know. I saw Nobi cry.
Yeah, that was sweet.
I consider that a sizable win. If you got someone going, saying thank you and crying after just doing 1 down 2.
Dude, he did 1 down 2, and then the sound clip he did, he was just like, and then he just starts looking up to this. He's just like, oh my god, thank you.
He hit the down 2, and then he said some shit like, I've been saying this the entire time, like complaining just about like how it should have been nerfed. It's like down 2, and then he starts crying. I'm like, that's tight.
I don't know.
JDCR's not crying. He ain't no Dragunov player like that.
Dude, what are you
How
talking
did he
about?
get all the buffs, dude?
You got Heihachi and Dragunov.
And
there was
Armor King.
Dude, and Armor King, yeah.
And he's still a Fakuram main. What?
For now.
I don't know what character he's playing because he's always jumping around different characters.
Yeah.
But I like this patch. I thought this patch was really well done. I thought that they buffed the characters that they thought they needed to get buffed. It's obviously a very specific patch too. Like you could tell that they made it clear that all right, these are the characters we're buffing. Everyone else is gonna get either a bug fix or if your name's Lydia, you're getting a nerf. But everyone else, it's like as long as your name's not in there, you're not getting touched, you're fine. And so I liked it. Overall, I thought it was a good patch because not too much of the nerfing, more buffing. And so now, my hope is that now we get to see more Fangs, more Armor Kings, more Eddies, more Lilies in tournament. But, I'm not so happy about the Lily. But everything else, I want to see. Because that means I got to start commentating Lily matches and knowing how that match goes. I don't remember.
All you got to say is feet. More feet.
Honestly, it's been so long since
people don't even know the lore behind the whole feet thing.
Yeah, really, right? No one knows who he is. We just bring his name up and then he'll appear in the chat every now and then, and that's it.
Yeah,
he does. Yeah, I don't know. I think the patch. I think the patch was great. I agree with you.
Also, side note, his name is Ui23. Remember when I said his
Jordan
first name is
23.
Jordan, yeah.
Just saying.
He's gonna change his name again because of you, dude. You doxing our players here. Stop
it. What do you mean? He already changed his name first. His name was Feet.
Yeah.
All caps. That's it. He should have made his name Feet 23. Nobody even know what we're talking about.
When we first met Feet, he was a younger kid, and I'm pretty sure he thought, no one's gonna remember me. As he got older, he's like, damn. Why did I name myself this shit?
He saw that he had like 200,000 gold in his character, and he was like, "How do I leave a legacy here?"
He did. He absolutely did. Tekken 6 had a barefoot Lily customization, and then he just put that shit on with his 200K, and then he changed his gamer handle to Feet, all caps, and then it was just like, holy shit, a new legend is born.
I don't know what happened, but all of a sudden he's way cooler. Or way creepier. I don't know, but it's more. He put himself out there. He just changed his name to Feet, and we're all like, "This guy, all right."
It's all right. I remember Aris. That was like his first impression. He's like, "Hey, this guy's all right."
Yeah, if you ever want to impress Aris, just change your gamer tag to Feet, and then see what happens. I'm sure it's not gonna go well this time.
I remember seeing a clip of JDCR. A lot of people have been saying because it's like Heihachi, Dragunov, and Armor King. Dragunov getting the down to full crouch again. Armor King and Heihachi getting a huge list of changes. As you can see here, this whole page is literally just Armor King changes. But seeing that clip from his channel, somebody asked him, "What do you think about the new patch?" And he's just like, same shit. But I think the best thing about this patch, in my opinion, is like the really commonly used tools that you use in neutral, like down forward 1 buffs, like that's huge. Like Jin back to 1 buff, like where the second one doesn't whiff as often, or I haven't seen it whiff at all ever since they changed it. So those are really nice buffs in my opinion, because you're gonna be using that shit anyways, and then it's like, oh shit, Lily's down forward 1 could hit AOP now. Sick.
That's stupid. She down forward 1 hits her face. Why is she's going this high? Why is she hitting AOP? Damn.
Yeah, you know, the patch to me it's kind of weird. Like this week specifically with Virtua Fighter coming back, it kind of bothers me how much Tekken's getting changed and like not really changed it. You know, like going back to what JDCR just said, like same shit. Like it is kind of same shit. Like I didn't read through. I think I read through the patch notes once really quick, and I didn't like go through it like in detail like I usually do. So when we did ICFC, I was like, oh wait a second, yeah, I forgot this game's changed now. But then I was like, not really. You know, like Eddie has all these changes. We were watching Spirogen last night, and like, you know, he's got the Relax 4?
It probably only happened like 2-3 times the whole night.
Right. And like it's like other than that, the game is mainly the same, right? But like personally, I wish there had been a nerf to Marduk's damage output, you know, on his rage drive or something. You know, like I feel like this game, they have been doing the thing where they just buff the weak characters, but they've been doing it now for like 5 years. And like there are still some strong characters, like they nerf Bakram, they nerf Leroy,
or strong characters with like fucked up things, you know, like Marduk with his Oki, King with his Oki, like little things like that.
Yeah, that they're not addressing. And then on the other hand, you have Virtua Fighter 5, which is back, and it's untouched. Like it's the same way I played it 10 to 12 years ago, and that is so refreshing that I don't have to deal with, oh wait, is that move actually -6 now instead of -7? You're like, I don't give a fuck. Like the game is exactly the same, you know? Like, you know what I mean?
I mean, you wouldn't even known anyways, regardless if you changed it or not.
But I'm saying, like, you know, I don't have to know at all, you know, and it's fantastic. It's the exact same game that I played before, you know? I mean, you played Tekken 7 4 years ago, and you came back to Tekken 7 now. Who knows what's changed? Like,
but you got to be fair. This game is obviously older. It hasn't, like Harada said, been like the challenge that, you know, Namco has been having. You know, if we put like, say, Virtua Fighter 6 came out 4 years ago in the same time as 7, right? Would they still continue having changes as Tekken 7? And I think they would. I mean, like new characters, same thing.
It's
yeah,
not
of course.
necessarily specific to Tekken or Virtua Fighter. It's like it's just the current state of FGC basically. You know,
right.
All these games get patches now. There's constant changes. And it's just so refreshing for Virtua Fighter to not have any of that shit. It's just the game I remember playing. You know, there is a final state of the game essentially.
Yeah,
and it carries over,
instead of a constantly moving and changing landscape.
Well, but you have to, but you have to remember that did come after Final Showdown. This is Ultimate Showdown.
No, I remember.
There's a Virtua Fighter 5, right? So
there's different.
Went through a bunch of changes too. So this would it would be the same as if we played Tekken 7, this version, 20 years from now, right? On the PlayStation 6. Fucking on the next generation.
Yeah, I get it. It's like that back then.
Because we're in the thick of it right now. Yeah.
Yeah, that Virtua Fighter update that we're playing now is basically what like Tekken 5 DR was, or Tekken 6 BR. Yeah. Right. It was that kind of an update, and those kind of updates where you're like, this is the version of the game. And it's done, it's final. Like I miss that a little bit nowadays, you know, because everybody's doing this, you know.
I agree.
That's what the times though, right? Because you know we thought about this early. Remember before?
I'm sure we
patches
complained about this before.
Yeah, it's like it always shifts with whatever it's.
But I think this is like the exciting thing.
Yeah, like prior to ever getting patches, nothing ever got patched, right? That's when we complained. Then you got like NRS coming out with patches every week. It's like, what the hell's going? Stop patching the game. Let us play.
And now everybody's NRS.
Exactly.
I wouldn't say that. No, I wouldn't say
not that bad.
Definitely not bad. Everyone learned, right? Because they saw overpatching's really bad. I think Tekken's
they went to the
extreme.
Job.
Yeah. I think Tekken's done a decent job of patching at good times because they don't do major patches like, you know, now this moves a high, now this moves a mid type of shit until like the new season changes, right? But and these mid-season patches are always just like, all right, look, these characters haven't done well this season, you know, let's buff them up, right? And this character might be a little too strong, right? So but we got to keep it in this season. You know, this is the season that we're going to try to play. So that's the reason why when JD said same game, you know, he's right, because the majority of the patch notes were just like damage buff, you know, bug fix, right? So only small things changes, but those buffs were good enough to like at least say like, hey, these characters now do more damage for playing the same exact game. So some of those rounds you lost earlier, they might win now.
Exactly. Yeah.
I think what you just said there is, go ahead, Suiken.
No, I was just gonna piggyback and say like because of this recent patch, we did see like an abundance of certain characters reappear, like Fang, right? And remember last episode of Harada's
I
Bar,
couldn't get Lily off my timeline, dude. She was everywhere. This was gross.
you just follow Kate, and all of a sudden he just like likes and retweet feet pics of Lily all
Oh
the time.
man.
But what I was gonna say was that the previous episode of Harada's Bar, where he had Jen's dad on with him, Harada shows Jen top secret Namco stuff, right?
Yeah.
Revealing that they track data of these character usage and who plays and who's popular, right? And they go in depth and he doesn't say too much, but he did say he goes in depth that he sees, oh, you'd be surprised who this character is very popular. And I mean, obviously we don't know what they've seen or anything like that, but I mean, I think like the patch itself was pretty straightforward, nothing crazy, right? Nothing game breaking, nothing meta changing at all, right? And there were some minor fixes. Fang got buffs. I like Fang a lot. I think Fang is, I thought you would be like, like you would be back on there, with
Yeah,
Fang.
they just buffed his B&B damage basically for Fang.
Yeah.
But, I think basically what you guys are saying also is like the philosophy for like Namco's balance changes seems like with the stuff they said at the Harada's Bar episodes, and it's like, oh, we kind of base it off of win rates on online ranked,
Yeah.
and also, but looking at the patch notes, like what Rip said earlier, I think I see that pattern more often where, hey, I think we're not seeing these characters as much as buff up the weaker characters, Do you think that's always the right way to go, or?
Nope. Because the strong characters are always going to be strong. Doesn't matter if you buff them in terms of like damage. This character is still like, I'm using Marduk as an example because I think we all agree Marduk is really stupid right now.
He's a little messed up, yeah.
He's a little messed up, yeah. And I mean, obviously we made the right complaints about Lydia, right? But Marduk having like a throw game and a 50-50 ground game and all this extra stuff, like I mean, at high level, it's super annoying. Like, it's one of those things like, how can they fix that, right? At this point, damage, like Rip said, damage adjustment, like, is that like the only way to fix it?
I don't think so. I mean, I think there's a couple ways they could fix it. Change the recovery after like the air one throw, so that he doesn't recover as fast as he does, so he could catch you back rolling with down forward one or quick rise with down forward one. Like they could change that stuff, but the thing is, it feels like they had us use the hashtags this and that. I saw in the patch notes for this patch 420 that they fixed Leo's issue where if Leo does sidestep into a 1+4 or a 2+3 move, and Suiken, I could already know you're upset because I'm mad already. Because Lei has an issue where if he sidesteps left or right and he tries to play dead with down 2+3 or down 1+4, it is literally impossible. It does not work. It is a bug. It is legit a bug, but they fixed it for Leo in this patch.
Sounds like a not a bug, but a feature, in my opinion. I am 100% okay with that. No need to fix it. No,
it's a function.
Sounds right.
Lei cannot go to the ground as soon as sidestepping because that's just not in the drunken sense. I never taught him that.
Fuck you, Ricky.
So yeah, like what do you guys think? They just seem like they want to buff the weaker or characters they don't see as often, but also they're going off of the win rates of ranked, and they're not really taking our feedback. Like, hey, we think Marduk is a little too strong in these scenarios, or this Oki situation is kind of messed up. Or Geese, like he's still kind of fucked up, It's just like, what do you guys think?
It's like, well, how much can you do to change it to the point where it's like a character's not fucked up, Because it's like there's so many good characters. I don't think there needs to be drastic changes to characters, but if they want to do a slight adjustment, sure. It's like I don't think any character needs a big ass overhaul or anything like that.
Yeah.
I've always been more on the side of buff versus nerf because over nerf, because to me nerfing is it changes too much of like
the gameplay.
The gameplay, right? So it can really right now, thankfully we haven't had the season start yet, but now since we're going to start it, if they had changed it, now, it might have fucked up some people, right? Would have been like, well, all
Mhm.
right, well, now I gotta learn a new character if I've never played, another character outside of my character that they nerfed or whatever. So
Yeah.
I feel
I
like,
mean,
I like it, and they can do the major nerfs and things like that in the next season. I think those are the patches where they can really like try to readjust the game and make the game different. But in the middle of a season, like, yeah, we'll leave it alone.
yeah, and I think that's like the biggest takeaway I've taken from this conversation right now. It's just, Namco's philosophy on when and how they patch is not clear to us,
It's
right?
not,
Like,
yeah.
if they did exactly what Ricky is saying, I think it would be a great idea. Like, I think they should do 100% exactly what Ricky said. Make major changes to the game at the season level, and then let us know ahead of time that the patches in between the seasons will only be like minor adjustments where, like, maybe what we've seen with Lily and Fang right now, where it's still kind of major for those characters, but for the overall game, it's more or less the same. I feel like if that was something that was, defined, and we knew what to expect out of it, then I think people wouldn't be as surprised by it. You wouldn't have JCR saying like, same shit. Of course, it was a minor patch, JCR. What would you expect otherwise? But because we don't have that kind of defined format of how they're patching, at the time we're like, oh shit, it's gonna be patched. There's gonna be a balance update. What's it gonna be? Are they finally gonna nerf Marduk? Like, we have no level of what the expectation level should be.
And
So
that's also
a
the
very
excitement too. I think that's what people get excited over. It's like, hey, what can they be doing in this next patch? Michael Murray hinted that they're coming out with a patch in a week, so I can't wait. Maybe they'll touch this fucking character. But
I mean, that's gonna solve so many problems, especially when people are like, when they put out like, oh, number 3 promo video, right? If they had said like, hey, look, this is just gonna be such and such fix and da da da, like they're not gonna say, well, it's Tekken 3, it's coming back out, like, something
Nah,
random
but
like that.
they wanted that though for sure. Like
Yeah.
they wanted that 3 out there just to generate like people talking, and that's what they got out of it. Like, I think that was the full intention, and that's what they got. So I don't think it hurts them that people were talking about Tekken Tag 3. If anything, it helps them. They're like, wow, wait, people want Tekken Tag 3, like,
yeah.
people want Tekken 3 remastered, like, I don't know.
Yeah, that is very interesting. But do you guys think there's going to be a point where if they follow that formula, just buff, at the point where it's just like, it's too much now. Everybody has everything. Everybody's too strong.
People have been talking about the whole power creep thing for like a year now, right? People already feel that way. I think Tekken 7 is a very old game now, and no one expected it to go this long, to have this much new content, etc.
Yeah. I mean, it's the first.
Would you like to see a final state of the game, like you said, with Virtua Fighter for Tekken?
Honestly, I don't think it's going to happen anymore.
You don't think there's gonna be a final state of the game?
Wow.
No, the final state of the game is the end of it when Tekken 8 or whatever comes out. Like, then they'll stop updating this game, and that'll be the final state of this game. Like, it's gonna happen. Like, it's inevitable. It'll happen, right? But like,
are you just saying that there's not gonna be like an official one, like Street Fighter V has like their whatever edition that's out now?
Well, they effed that up too, because they did Champion Edition.
I thought that was finale. That was it. Yeah,
because it was the final packaging, and they're like, "Oh, just kidding, we got more DLC and more balance updates coming." It's like, why did I just buy the Champion Edition?
What kind of champion doesn't defend their belt, dude? The Champion Edition has to keep going,
Conor
man.
McGregor, that's what kind. But no, seriously, like, I feel like there will be a final version. It's just not. I just wish that the patches weren't happening like they are anymore. Like, I feel like development has shifted to this phase now where we want like constant updates, and I think that it's better for the scene overall. But me as a player, personally, I just can't be bothered to keep up after a certain point as much, especially when it's like the minor patches like this one. When if they were just annual major patches, I think I personally would be more about that, because like the amount of patches and changes right now in this minor patch, like, it doesn't affect me for the characters I play. So like, I don't even care to look at it, because it's like, yeah, when I play Lily, some stuff will be different. Like, is there anything that's over -10 that changed, or something that's safe now? Like, those are the only major changes I need to know. Like, the small buff damage and all this here and there, like that's good to have the details on it, but I don't care to know. It's like Lily got +3 damage on this move. I don't care. Like,
yeah, I feel like the community is like such flip floppers, right? Because when they first announced this patch, it came out in Japanese first, and it wasn't translated, and people were like freaking out on Twitter. Hey, where are you guys getting the patch notes information? Hey, how did you know that changed? What do you mean that's a launcher now,
dude? I was streaming live when they dropped the patch notes. Like, that was that late night, right? I don't know if you guys were there, but it was super late night. It was like 3 a.m, and I was like, all right, guys, I'm about to end the stream. What's this? patch notes, like, okay, we're going in, right? It's all in Japanese, and it was all an image file, so you could not Google translate it or anything like that. So
I get you. Like, show these gringos.
But
Oh, no.
I know.
we came up with a way to translate it using
the phone, and then you got
phone translator. Yeah. So I was like, ooh, okay, this one's about Lily. I don't care. You know, like, moving on. Okay, Lay. Okay, we got something with Lay.
Yeah.
Nothing good. Okay, whatever. Like, you know, moving on. You know.
Yeah,
But
actually, it's still fun and exciting, right? But,
yeah.
I think that's the balancing act. That's the balancing act because it's exciting for the community. It creates a lot of discussion. It's like when you have like Invincible dropping weekly episodes, or like any TV shows, instead of like the Netflix format, drop it on all of us at one time. Talk about, everybody watches the whole season and they just stop talking about it next week. But if you have like weekly updates, or like every couple of months an update, people start talking about it. The buzz is around, and so that's definitely the balancing act that I see that they are going with right now. But
it's not for everybody.
It sounds to me, Mike, like you are not happy with the strong characters in the game. It sounds like you want to see nerfs.
Wait, which Mike?
I don't even want to see. Dude, I'm not even asking for that big of a nerf. Like for Geese, the only thing I would change is like they beefed up the shit out of standing 2 as a 15 frame punish with 1 meter. Just make mid reversal plus 14 so that he has to use back 3-2 to get any damage off of it. That's literally the only change I want for Geese. I don't think that's crazy.
You already got Joe Crush first person in the
know.
chat. Hell no.
Man,
No one asked for his opinion, but all of a sudden,
I mean,
Joe Crush in the Spider-Man outfit right now, drinking Hennessy down, man.
came down from the ceiling upside down. Whoa! Oh man, no, but seriously, like, I mean, patches are it's an interesting topic, and I do wish that, going back to what Ricky said, that there was more of a structure to it, that we knew like major patches beginning of season, minor patches middle, whatever.
Yeah.
I feel like that's stuff they're learning, right? And Harada, go back to what Mike was saying and MYK was saying earlier about like like, are they just looking at rank, whatever? Like, Harada is a very statistics oriented guy, right?
Yes.
So I feel like, they are probably paying attention to the fact, like, we changed Lily a bunch here. Like, in the next 3 months, do we see a big uptick in Lily, and does it drop off? Like what is it? So do these kind of patches even help? Like, I think they're keeping track of everything. So sure. Whether it's working or not, like, I think they'll know. By the time we get to the next game, whatever. It's not something.
I mean, they got the numbers, right? So they'll know who's getting played more, right? I'm sure they already see like an uptick in whoever got buffed, because that's just the natural progression of things, right? You're gonna see characters get buffed. You can be like, oh, I played this character, let me try him out again, right? Whether or not they stick with them is the other question. We'll see. So,
I would love it if the statistics come back and go like, well, now that we've done what you guys have asked and buff Lars and everything, the stats are exactly the same. The same number of people playing Lars, and they're losing just as much. Like, I feel like what the hell is even the point of listening to you motherfuckers? Like, just to shut you up on Twitter and that's it. Like, I feel like it would be very interesting to see how those stats play out long term. Yeah. But we won't know that for a while.
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody's kind of, taking the good parts of each thing. Like Namco, only 2 patches ago, they started giving us explanations of why they, decided to change a couple things. Like, this is really new, and it's only because Capcom started doing that with like their patch 2 patches ago. So it's just like, it's still super fresh. And then the buzzword rollback, this and that, it's all a constant balancing act for them, not just for the gameplay balance, but like a community balancing act. So hopefully, I think for the most part, though, people are pretty happy about this patch. So I think it is a step in the right direction. But I do have to ask you guys, what do you guys think about the Lydia changes? For me, as like, I think I was like the main one playing Lydia the most out of us 4. And it seems like they gave her the Leroy Falkenraum treatment before, like, without even her being at that level on release, right? So
we talked about this too, Mikey. Like, I was thinking, like, they went too hard on her so fast, right? I don't think she was broken at all. I think she was very strong, but I don't think on the level of Leroy and Falkenraum in the beginning of their start, they were really fucked up. Like, those characters had really good stuff, and but I think the balance overall didn't kill her. They did nerf her really hard to the ground. But most of the stuff is fair. They could have left the 4-3 a little bit as a counter hit, not a natural or a knockdown, a counter hit knockdown instead. But I don't know.
You think it was like damage control for the future, just in case?
Yeah,
like with all
they
like
just wanted
with
to
like
do
the
it just to
tournament
avoid future
sponsors.
problems.
Yeah, the tournament
Yeah,
sponsors
'cause-
already say they're banning any player that uses her or
That was
tournament.
the
You
dumbest
know-
shit, man.
Yeah, like knee-jerk reaction a little bit on that one.
Every new character has experienced that. Like, you remember, like, when Pakistan said Fakamran was banned in their tournaments. Remember that
yeah.
a while back ago? Banned that character, right? Leroy, having, like, really, really good stuff, too. Wasn't banned, but, I mean, he finally got nerfed enough where he's still strong, but he's not as strong. And Fakamran, I feel the same way about. But this time, they're like, you know what? Everyone's complaining. Not everyone, but people are complaining. We're just gonna go ahead and nerf her, and we're gonna be done with it. And there's not much you can do with it. And I think she's fine the way she's as is. But
What was the biggest change that they made to Lydia?
I think for me,
4-3 not
4-3.
being a wall splat or anything,
Yeah.
or doing anything other than just
At
being
all.
a funny mid kick.
Yeah.
that you get floated for now. It's like, I mean, been getting floated for.
So
It's like
4-3.
ridiculous.
Okay. What else?
Down back. I think down back 2 damage reduction also kind of hurts
Yeah.
her. They
Yeah.
nerfed it to the point where even on counter hit, it doesn't spark anymore. It only used to spark on counter hit before.
Okay.
All the other
3-2.
stuff. Yeah, all the other stuff like 3-2, down back 3+4, down forward 1+2, all those fillers and stuff. Just damage reduction across the board for her fillers, and also her forward 3+4 stance. Her forward 3+4 into the 2. It's a counter hit launcher. They made that -10. I think those are probably the biggest changes.
That doesn't sound like she's really that hurt, unless the damage was huge.
No, I think the damage changes are fair. Honestly,
damage is like her hop kick damage. It's only 60 damage. It's kind of like this, like almost like the Shaheen thing, right? Like 60 damage.
But
for
then
a
the
hop
thing
kick,
was like her hop kick was like literally the weakest thing. Like her hop kick only gives 60 damage or whatever. You could go for the 67 if you're feeling ballsy, but it's still it was still like she had options, but for the most part. Her combos were doing like mid 60s to 80s, so that's pretty high. 80 is pretty freaking high. So I think all that the B&B damage nerfs were fair. I'm just really sad about forward 3 TBH. That's like my biggest.
Forward 3. That's the thing.
That was my favorite move.
It was my favorite move too, to be honest.
Yeah, it's my favorite move.
It was my favorite move because it was dumb. You know what I mean? Like, so I don't know how the changes have been on it, but I definitely thought the move was dumb. It was so fast and like instant local, like boom, boom, boom. Like you just repeatedly do it. So I can understand them changing that. The 3-2 change, like that makes sense because so many people are complaining online about being.
Oh yeah, the recovery on the highs and stuff. 3-2, and
Right.
then the guard break as well. They made it easier to punish if you duck it. I think all that stuff was fine. I think all that stuff.
Yeah.
was
See,
fine.
so it sounds like she's okay, even though she.
Yeah,
got her
it's like
stupid
like
nerf.
it's like if you look at the number of it, it's like there's a lot of nerfs, but if the quality of it, she's still the same character, right? She just does less damage overall, and one move has been drastically changed, right? But other than that, it's like she's still Lydia, you know?
I agree.
Yeah, I think so. I think she'll still be pretty solid in a couple of matchups, but I'm just really hurt about forward 3.
This is why people don't like nerfs, Mike. See,
Feels bad. It does feel bad. I feel
Exactly.
like every time I don't even want to look at these patch notes every time they come out. They're always touching my characters. Damn.
That's why I look at patch notes like if I see Ganryu's name in there, I'm like, oh god.
Oh god, I don't want
No.
to see this. No.
Hey, wasn't law the first thing listed?
Yeah.
Law's always
was-
always the first one listed because no matter what, like when they list changes, Law and Paul are like number 1 and 2 always.
It's so funny to me because like that I saw it and I was like, oh, law. Oh, it's like the stupid ass fix on Dragon Hammer. You know, which never
the
been
full
there
crouch
before.
glitch. Yeah,
And you know what? Yeah, they fixed that shit. They still didn't fix my fucking forward 3+4 throw, man.
they fixed it for Lee. Hey man,
I know.
They'll get there
Telling you,
someday.
It's a feature, not a bug.
Sucks. Whatever.
But yeah, I think that pretty much covers everything for the topics. Anything else you guys want to talk about Tekken
E3's
related?
coming up,
Oh
man.
yeah, E3 coming up. June is the month. It's going to be online as well. We're still stuck in the pandemic, but I think they posted a schedule. I don't have the tweet right now, but
It's on our Discord right now.
Oh, okay,
I
sweet.
linked it to you before we started.
I'll tell you right now, E3 has been way better online than offline. Offline E3 is like a
Offline
good.
is,
It's like a
Stressful time.
good 1 day maybe thing. Is like, especially if you're not working. If you're not working, go there 1 day, be BL, stand in line, get free stuff, and then leave. Right? Especially if you're BL's leaving. BL's going all 3 days and leaving with everything.
It's been terrible the last few years because there's been so many like you got to wait like a 2-hour line to get 1 pin, and BL's the only person in line that we know. You know, like,
he's gotten like 4 pins already.
Yeah, he's back in line again.
I don't even know how he does it.
No, the last time I was at E3 was when I was working with MYK. We did the.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
he's standing on the box. Yeah.
Yeah, I was standing on the box. I was wearing makeup that day too, because they did makeup on me. And so like, I remember meeting Eris after. He's like, "Hey, are you wearing makeup?" And I'm thinking like, "What the heck?"
Dude.
It's like, "Damn, is it that noticeable?"
Remember I
Oh yeah, the hat under the brim was just like all makeup. It was caked up. It was funny.
Yeah, I was like, "Oh, gross." So I can take off the hat again. I don't even know why she put makeup on my forehead.
Yeah, speaking about
That shit was
E3.
shitty, that's why, duh.
Yeah, speaking about E3 on the 14th, Monday, on the 14th, June 14th, they're going to have a Capcom presentation. But on the 15th, it's the Nintendo Direct / Nintendo and Bandai Namco on that day. You guys think they're going to be announcing anything crazy there?
I'm gonna go out and make a prediction.
Gundam.
Street Fighter 6.
Oh
Or you
my
think Capcom's
god.
gonna make that announcement?
Holy shit.
Wait, what day is Capcom?
The day before, June 14th, Monday.
On Monday.
I think Street Fighter 6 is getting announced because they had those leaks a while ago, right? And then they said it got delayed, and then we got the updates to Champion Edition,
Right.
where they started adding DLC stuff or whatever. But it still makes sense. Like, if it's not this E3, it's next E3. It's got to be one or the other. So I think we might get some kind of teaser right now. Street Fighter 6.
Oh my god. What about for Bandai Namco? You have anything for them?
Well, Michael Murray tweeted before, he said that we usually do reveals in person and not like, just throwing it out.
Act
So,
like they're gonna walk off the
he's-
stage and then come back type of deal, you know?
like, we're done, guys. See you later. Walks off. Well, boo, boo, what? Like one of those. The old 1 and 2 dance, like Michael Murray and Harada.
They could do that in video format for this.
I mean, he did. Remember, they were like, "Are you ready?" That shit. Remember? And then he said, "Roll it," But
well, the thing is, they like Namco's never done fighting game things at E3 recently. Like E3 has never been.
Exactly.
This is like at this point, what is E3 even now? Just like it's basically a Twitch broadcast that I gotta watch, and like some washed up lady from E Entertainment is gonna be hosting.
Yeah. I mean, nowadays E3 it's the week around E3. It's where all the major publishers or studios have their own press day. Like it's Sony Day. Let's go watch the PlayStation conference. Let's go watch the Xbox conference, the PC gaming conference. That's usually what it is nowadays. And as you mentioned, like even like Twitch has their own stuff going on. And even like in those Twitch broadcasts, you usually get like, in this hour block, we're gonna have Harada and Michael Murray come on. They're gonna talk about Tekken, and they'll have like a 30-second clip, like, oh, what the hell was that? Like they showed nothing. Damn it, that's usually how it goes nowadays. But like as far as like announcing big new titles, sometimes that happens, but it's usually at those like Sony events or Microsoft events or stuff like that.
I think like at this event, they're either going to show just like basic shit that we don't care about as non-fighting or like fighting game fans, right? Like I'm sure there'll be a new Naruto plus 1 Bleach crossover thing on the Nintendo Switch that only 2 people will play, right? There'll be some sick shit though.
Jump Force 2.
Oh man!
Where? Damn, that would be sick. Where? You said that shit, but like literally right next to me, bro. Look at this.
Oh boy!
When are you streaming that shit, Rip? I'll watch that. Let me see the stream of that. I've never seen you stream that in my life.
How have you never played it?
What do you mean? How I never played it? Look how cool this is. This is the coolest part about Jump Force.
Yeah, well, play the game at least.
You should play the story mode. I would watch.
But what I was gonna ask you guys is which event, or it was at E3, I just don't remember which publisher did it. Who announced Marvel vs. Capcom with the trailer?
I think it was at Sony. Yeah,
it
was at the conference because I remember like the crowd getting like, oh yeah, they were.
But it wasn't Microsoft. You sure?
Pretty sure.
Pretty sure,
Yeah.
because I remember, I just
Yeah.
remember it just popping up in the middle and everyone just making fun of it for
Yeah.
the next 30 minutes. And
Chun-Li
that was,
face.
that
Yeah.
was the tightest time to be on Twitter, dude. It was just like roasting left and right. I was just laughing my ass off.
I was thinking before that, the last fighting game I remember being announced at E3 was Killer Instinct, and that was definitely on Xbox. And that one was
Yeah,
shocking
really?
too.
Was that like the last one?
Before, I mean, unless it was like a Samurai Showdown or some shit, you know?
I don't remember that at E3, but it could have
Yeah.
been.
But yeah, the two big ones I remember are Killer Instinct at Xbox. That everyone's like, wait, Killer Instinct's coming back, and then the next one, of course, is Marvel Capcom Infinite, where everyone's just talking shit, like you said. So yeah, basically,
If they just made her face look so much better, maybe you'd have just a little bit more players. It sucks, man.
I know.
That trailer might be up there with the Ralph and
KoF
Clark
trailer?
trailer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Might be up
Dude,
there.
it was rough, man. Like, just looking at Thanos' face, we just saw the movie with Thanos killing half the people, and oh shit, what happened?
oh yeah, Dragon Ball Fighters was also at Microsoft.
Hey, that's it.
Yeah, so I think watching the major publisher ones is probably going to be where you're going to see the real big reveals.
Yeah,
you know,
for sure.
because that's always like the biggest thing to watch nowadays. I think.
Yeah.
But
It
I
makes
mean,
sense.
at this point, man, E3 hasn't been. Man, video games haven't been tight for like years, man.
What are you
And
talking
E3
about?
E3
Last
has
year was
been.
sick for games.
I mean, I don't know what.
I'm gonna throw a crazy one out there. Tekken
Okay.
Cross Street Fighter.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah.
with the way
Yeah.
that 2Ds have been taken
I
in this
really
game.
want it still. And you know, there was when they first announced it, right? This was like it was the Comic-Con event when they first announced Street Fighter Cross Tekken, right? And there were interviews afterwards where Harada said like, yeah, maybe we'll do Tekken Cross Street Fighter in like 10 years. And at the time, that would have been like 2018, 2019 when it should have come out, right? And it still didn't come out, right?
Yeah.
So now we're in this stage where it's like, bro, we are deep. So it should be now by that timeline. But they've also said stuff where it's like, it's a bad time because Tekken's doing well and Street Fighter's doing well, so you can't really put a game out for both of them. And we already know Street Fighter 6 is coming out, so now it'd be a really weird time to put out Tekken Cross Street Fighter, right? Right?
I just want to see
Unless
Ryu.
there is no Street Fighter 6 coming out.
Street Fighter 6 is Tekken Cross Street Fighter.
Damn, Eliza's in that game and shit. That'd be sick. That would be sick.
People have mentioned that they should put Eliza in Street Fighter 5 or something as a 2D character.
That's what I'm saying. That'd be sick.
I agree.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
You think Street Fighter wants to deal with another dive kick character?
Dude, she has a dive kick, fireball, and a Shoryu. She's gonna be crazy.
She's just Cammy with the fireball. Like, no, they don't want to deal with that.
With the Rapukin, man.
Dude, that'd be
Yeah,
sick.
no, I ain't trying to deal with that.
That would be sick. That's what I'm saying. But yeah, I just really want to see Ryu do a EX donkey kick and then you wall bouncing in Tekken. That would be so. That already sounds so cool.
That was
me.
when you said it, bro.
Yeah, I was like, dude, that'd be sick. But yeah, I think that pretty much covers all the news. E3 coming up this month, couple days now. Be on the lookout. June 15th is the day. Bandai Namco. Maybe.
Damn.
Maybe.
What if Tekken 7 goes free to play at E3?
Dude, you know what's crazy? It's Nintendo and Bandai Namco Day. So
But it's
some
not
kind
a
of
joint thing, right? So
some
Like,
kind
I
of
think-
fusion. Heihachi's finally coming to Smash for realsy this time.
Man.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Eh.
what's
Did
like
Bandai make Smash or something?
I think they helped.
Like,
Yeah.
help with the engine or something?
Yeah, they helped. What's like the biggest Bandai Namco franchise outside of like the
Isn't
the
it like
most, popular,
Gundam
like
and Dragon
Pac-Man
Ball? Gundam? Isn't it Gundam?
No, don't they do all the Naruto and all that anime stuff?
They do.
They do a lot of things. And I
They
feel like
do,
we're gonna see a lot
Dark
of
Souls.
those.
Oh fuck! Don't. Hey.
They just publish Dark Souls, right? They don't actually make it.
Yeah, but I'm saying
But-
that's what I'm saying. They're a publisher. So
Yeah, put-
Elden Ring trailer. I would lose my shit.
Put your Dark Souls character into Smash, fat roll and shit. Just
Dude.
that
one
makes so much
swing.
more sense. Giant sword, just like Cloud and shit.
Oh yeah, people are talking about Demon Slayer, right? Like the movie came out. I've never seen the anime or anything, right? But I heard there's talk about them making a fighting game for Demon Slayer. Do you guys know anything about that?
No, but
Mm-mm.
any fighting games based off of animes will have two things. It's gonna have beautiful dude playing it, and it's gonna be fun for like a week. It'll be fun for a week, and then whether or not if you really fuck with it, then you'll keep playing. But after that first week, it probably, at least if you're like us, right? If if you're not fans of the anime and you're not fans of anime games, then it's like we're just fans of fighting games. We'll probably play it.
Yeah.
It'll be sick. At least I hope.
Try
I mean,
it
I've been
out.
playing some really whack fighting games recently. So
Like what?
Dude, I want to play those too. Let me know, Ricky. I want to get it.
I played this game called Twin Goddesses on the PlayStation 1, and it has these two Japanese ladies in like real like Mortal Kombat sprites fighting against cartoon sprites. It's the worst fighting game. It's the worst fighting game I've ever played in my life.
It's Roger Rabbit, the fighting game.
Damn.
It was like a PlayStation. Yeah, it really
Fighting
was.
game.
Right? Yeah, it was.
That's tight.
Cool.
Damn, Space Jam,
it's
the
terrible.
fighting game. Shit, let's go, MJ.
It really was.
All right,
That
all
sounds
right.
crazy.
Yeah, I definitely need to go back and dabble in some old fighting games. Definitely need more fighting games in my life. I'm only playing 2 at the moment, Tekken and Dragon Ball Fighters. But
Dude, play Virtua Fighter. What are you waiting for?
no, I've been messing around. I've been just practice moding. I'm fucking around with Brad. Brad seems sick.
Yeah.
Dude,
somebody
he's
told me that, 'cause he's got
super
the
sick.
weaves, right?
Dude, he's like Steve and Bruce put together, and he has like Sonic Fang looking moves and like 3-1-1 looking move. I'm like, bro, this character's sick. This character's sick. But I think that pretty much wraps it up for today. Anything else you guys want to talk about from the fighting game world? All right, then I guess we can move on over to the follow me ads. Who wants to start
Can we do the call out thing?
first?
That's after. Dude.
Yeah.
Oh, is it after?
Yeah,
I know
we'll
it's been a while since we did one of these. I
it's
forget.
right
Okay,
after.
go ahead.
It's right after.
Okay.
You go first with the follow, Suiken.
All right, you guys can definitely follow me, of course, on Twitter at TK and you can also check me out on Instagram and on Twitch at SuikenUser.
What about your TikTok?
Hey.
No.
You
I'm
stopped
gonna-
TikTok?
Oh damn.
No, I haven't started. I made this
Didn't
video.
Arslan
and I
start a
shot-
TikTok?
Well, first of all, let me explain why. I made like a couple of videos, right? It takes a little bit to do it, right? And I showed Sandy, and she said,
Oh,
"What
no.
are you, 12?" It broke my heart, and I was like, "I don't want to do this."
Damn, Sandy got you.
It broke my heart, man. I was like, she's got it right. I had this really funny skit where, like, I did one of those ones where, like, we're at Evo, right? And we're talking about, like, TOs and stuff, and they would call out random names and stuff. And I thought it was really good. You know, I was going to post it up.
Hey,
And
post
then
it,
Sandy
man.
was
It
like-
might be really
Sandy was
good.
like- she's all like, yeah, I don't think anyone would get that. It's like, I don't think anyone would get that. And then, like, I was thinking to myself, and then I showed my daughter, right, my oldest daughter, and she's like, "That's fun, Dad. That's fun." You know, I was like,
She gave you
Dude,
break the heart compliment.
Oh,
for me, I was like, I don't want to do it anymore. I
damn.
don't know. Okay, look, I might post it. I'll let you guys decide. I might post it. I'm done with that skit. Yeah, I just been doing like you know, just like experience skits from offline events and then portraying them. And I had one with Rip, right? And I was pretending to be Rip. It was a really good one.
You're selling your TikTok really
Hey,
hard.
you
It's not
should
for-
make a skit
Look,
of
I'm trying
the
to talk
old
myself
days.
into it. I'm trying to talk myself into it with your help, but then I keep thinking of my wife talking shit to me, and I'm like, I don't want to do it.
Just
You're right,
do it. Who
Brian.
cares? What is
Yeah,
she gonna
man.
write about anyway?
Damn.
Being shit.
She's gonna put one dislike on there and it'll be fine. No big deal.
Oh, yeah, that's just one
Oh,
dislike, bro.
man.
One thumbs down won't hurt
Anyways,
nobody.
You guys saw what I already told her. Go ahead, Rip, take it away.
Level up your game. Twitch, Twitter, YouTube. Please go and sub on the YouTube channel. If you guys are watching YouTube, subscribe and turn on notifications there because we finally had our contract terminated for the full full screen or something. That was like our partner MCN, whatever. So I don't know if the YouTube channel is even going to make any money at all anymore. So
Damn.
hit that subscribe button.
Damn.
Yeah, follow for new content. You're not making money anymore.
This will be
Not
on
making
there.
no money anymore.
Hi, YouTube.
You can follow me on Twitch and Twitter at Ricksteezy, RickSteezy.
Boom. And then you guys can follow me at Twitch and Twitter. The name is MYK. And all right, here we go. Our favorite segment for last, the bitch callings. Who's it gonna be? I don't really have it. Oh, I got one. If you guys want me to go first.
Go first.
I won't have anything.
I'm gonna call everyone that wanted to create that fake beef between Tekken and Virtua Fighter players
That's what
for
I was gonna
no
say, MYKT.
fucking reason. When it's just
Yeah.
like, bro, You know, that rip moment made me love Virtua Fighter, right? I didn't even have to touch the game, but I'm like, damn, that game brought me that moment and that joy. And I'm still laughing about it 10 years later.
Yep.
So, hey, man.
Yeah. Like, that's exactly what I was going to talk about, too, on my bitch calling. Like, whoever is starting drama between the two communities, fuck you guys, all right? There's no fucking drama, dude. Like, seriously, there is no drama. The coolest people I've known, like, going to the arcades have been Virtual Fighter players. You know, they're super down to earth, no beef. But y'all in here on Twitter just starting shit for dumb shit, you know? Like, dude, jeez. Just because Rip Flip kicked a bunch of you guys don't need to get all mad, okay? Yes, one of his shit is going viral. Maybe two of them. They're doing pretty good. But, I mean, look, everyone wants to be like, a Jackie player.
Yeah, quick acting like you didn't get hit. You all got hit.
We all got hit.
Yeah,
anyways.
The ones that blocked it punished it sometimes.
Yeah.
Very rarely, but sometimes they punished it.
I've never seen it. I don't even know if that move's punishable, bro. That shit's plus
Mike,
it's all far no.
Let's play tonight, Mike.
Whoa. I'm a baby, dude. I've never fought an opponent. Yeah, right.
Honestly,
you were in
I'm
grand
so
finals at Wednesday Night Fights 10 years ago. How are you a baby?
Mike, do you know how old I am? I'm a real Virtua Fighter player now. All right, let me tell you. I don't remember any of that game anymore.
Do you? What else do you need to know? You can still flip kick. I've seen you.
Oh man, that's the saddest part. I already talked about it earlier, but I was telling Ricky in his stream the other day. But basically, when we played Virtua Fighter like 10 years ago, like there was a very, very small scene in the arcade.
Super
right?
small,
and the majority they did this Rising Star bonus thing because they wanted new players to come in. And so I got to get free. I was like, I'm going to play. I didn't expect to win the damn bonus. Then BL and Rickstah tried to come and take my money half the time, but they couldn't have successful.
I only won that once. I was so honestly, I was so shocked I only won once. I thought I was going to win at least twice or 3 times. I was so pissed. You kept getting plague and fucking him up, and every time I get plague, he kept blocking shit. I'm like, I should pick Jackie and flip kick you.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, if you guys didn't know, back at Wednesday Night Fights when we had it at Super Arcade, the Virtual Fighter guys would have the thing called Rising Star, like an incentive for newer players to come in. And I think any of the new players that entered the tournament and placed the highest won the prize. And I think it was like
$50.
Yeah, $50 every time. That was a pretty substantial
easy
amount.
Money.
Yeah.
The highest placing new player. I won hundreds of dollars, literally.
Yeah. Rick won a lot. I won like once. I think BL won once too.
BL probably won once too, Probably the weekend show up or something.
I think there were other players outside of the Tekken community that also won it too, right? Like, because we weren't always the best, but the majority of times we were pretty damn good. So
the crazy thing is, like, at the time, I would always think like, dude, no one plays this game because it's just a bunch of old guys playing it. And now, 10 years later, we are the age of the old guys that were playing VF, and we're the VF players now. So it's like the circle of life sort of deal. But at the same time, the entire FGC scene has gotten way older with us this time. Virtua Fighter was kind of ahead of the curve there, and they didn't bring in any new players along the way. So it's kind of funny now that the old guys are still playing Virtua Fighter, and the new guys are like, no Rollback, no pie, So,
there's a lot of new players actually that look like they're playing the game and enjoying it too. Right?
No, they are.
Sure. So
I'm just
that's sick.
Shit,
I'm hoping that I hope that not necessarily the players stick with it, but I want the Sega and Virtua Fighter, like whatever they do to like at least keep their competitive scene going, because right now obviously it's a good start. They just need to somehow keep the scene going and at least get people to recognize that they exist, because right now people know that they exist, but will we remember them after Strive comes out?
After 2 years?
In a week?
Will we remember after when KoF comes out? Will KoF be remembered after it comes out? We don't know. We gotta hope that they keep supporting the game. And Virtua Fighter, I think is doing the right thing right now, but we'll see.
Yeah.
I
mean,
I have hopes.
Yep. One step at a time. I mean, this is a step in the right direction for sure. And you know what? I mean, everyone. I've been getting a lot of people asking me to play Shun-Di, like on Virtua Fighter. They're like, play Shun-Di, the drunken.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
I played him a little bit. Like I tested him. I was like, oh, okay. This was like back then, right? And I was like, oh yeah, this is kind of cool. I do like him. He's like super creative. He has really cool. His drunken style is super strong. And I'm like, okay, this should have been late, right? I was thinking this should have been late.
Has like a drink mechanic, right? He has like a drink.
You want a strong ass lay, a buff lay, it's Shun-Di and Virtua to find.
Yeah, that's what everyone's
Bro.
been telling me. Like everyone's like, you
And-
should play, you'll do really well, and I was like,
you
ah,
will
you know,
actually
maybe.
beat the shit out of people if you actually learn to play
Dude,
that
that'd be
character.
godlike. That'd be
That character
godlike.
is so hard to stop.
That'd be sick. Yeah. You know, I think that's one thing that we've always been saying in this podcast is, man, we might all be Tekken fans for the most part, but try out other fighting games, man. You might just fall in love. You never know. Get your feet wet a little. But I think that's going to do it for us today. Thank you guys all for watching.
Wait, Ricky, you don't got any bitch calling or nothing?
Oh yeah.
New York Knicks fans, dude. They told they were talking so much shit to Trey Young and that dude, that Spider-Man guy that was interviewing
That's so
that
funny.
guy. That dude was so fat, and he said, "Trey Young, you look like my dad's," and then he said the B word, and then he like, doubles back. He's like, "I don't know what my dad looks like." It's true. Sorry, Knicks fans, you guys lost the series. It sucks, and the roasts were funny, but Trey Young got your ass and took a shit on the court. Right now,
Mhm.
Chris Paul's taking a shit on the Lakers court, and
Yep.
like that.
Everyone's getting shitted
There's
on,
3 more
dude.
minutes,
Yeah.
Ricky. 3 minutes. The Lakers are down by 11. I'm sure they're gonna win.
All right, guys. Oh, biggest nerf to this season was this song. Why did they get rid of this song?
Yeah. Yeah, everybody, don't forget to dip your nuts in other fighting games.
What?
All right?
Nut code.
The nut code.
Absorb the nut code.
Dip them.
Enjoy the nuts. All right, guys. See you next time.
Have a good one.
What is this, a Corn Nuts commercial?
These nuts.